Welcome to the Mobile Home Friend YouTube channel. I am Charles Odell, and this is your primary resource for everything manufactured housing. Whether you are tackling a full remodel like the one you see here, or just looking for honest advice on repairs and financing, we provide the data and technical deep dives you need to succeed. Our mission is simple: to help you save money and improve your home through first principles logic and transparent cost breakdowns. For the full technical guides and even more resources, visit us at mobilehomefriend.com.
Welcome to another deep dive from Mobile Home Friend. Today, we are looking at a critical safety issue for older mobile homes, based on our latest research at mobilehomefriend.com, the electrical panel. Wow, when you read it like that, it sounds incredibly dramatic. But honestly, we're not here to scare you. This is not about fear-mongering. It's about some very real and frankly, very old engineering flaws. This old technology, found in a ton of mobile homes, has turned out to be a latent fire hazard. And just understanding why is the first step to making your home safe. Exactly, so let's get right into the why. Think of your electrical panel as the central nervous system for your entire home. Everything electric flows through it. And the reason this is such a huge issue specifically for mobile homes is pretty simple. Mass production back in the 70s and 80s meant using parts that were cheap to buy in huge quantities. And unfortunately, as we know now, some of those crucial parts were just dangerously defective from the start.
Right, so let's not beat around the bush here. If you see either of these names on your panel, you need to understand something critical. You do not have a safety device. What you have is a box of switches that have a terrifyingly high failure rate. When they are needed the most, during an overload or a short circuit, they often just don't shut off. And that is exactly how fires start.
Absolutely. So the most important thing is knowing what to look for. Our goal here is that by the end of this next section, you can literally walk over to your panel with your phone in hand and know exactly what you're looking at. We're going to walk you through the three main problem brands. First up is the most notorious one, Federal Pacific, or FPE. Just look for the name right there on the panel door. If you open it, you'll often see a label that says Stab Lock. But the real dead giveaway, it's the visual cue. The breaker switches almost always have these really bright orange or red tips. We've got more example photos on the Mobile Home Friend website if you want to compare yours. And here's why that is so critical. Independent testing has shown these FPE breakers can fail to trip up to 60% of the time. Just let that sink in for a second. More than half the time it's supposed to do its one single job, which is to prevent a fire, it just doesn't. The wires in your walls just get hotter and hotter and hotter until something catches. Next on our most wanted list is Zinsco. Now, you might also see it branded as GTE Sylvania. And honestly, these are often the easiest to spot because they just look so different from anything modern. The breakers themselves are thin, and they have these really unique, kind of funky, colorful handles, pinks, blues, greens. It's a very distinct look you won't forget.
Yeah, the issue with Zinsco is a massive design flaw. See, the breakers don't make a solid connection to the bus bar. That's the metal strip that distributes all the power. This creates these tiny little sparks and intense heat, which can literally weld the breaker right onto the bar. I actually tried to pull a Zinsco breaker out of a panel once, and the plastic just crumbled in my hand, leaving the metal guts completely fused to the box. A breaker in that state can never, ever trip. It's just a live wire. And finally, there's Challenger. It's a bit of a different story. While some of their breakers were recalled for overheating and melting, the bigger problem today is that the insurance companies have caught on. These panels are now on a lot of do not insure lists, which makes them a huge liability for you, even if they haven't technically failed yet. And that brings us to the other danger, right? The one that can hit your wallet and hit it hard. Because this isn't just about physical safety anymore. Having one of these obsolete panels in your home is like a ticking time bomb for your homeowner's insurance.
So what's this giant number on the screen? 30 days. That is the typical window an insurance company will give you to replace one of these panels once they find it during an inspection. If you don't do it, they will just cancel your policy. It is that simple. And then your home is left completely insured.
This exact thing happened to a friend of mine. He bought a manufactured home, sent a picture of his Zinsco panel to the insurance agent, and was denied coverage on the spot. He had to scramble, calling every single electrician he could find, and paying a huge premium for a rush job. He ended up paying $3,200 for a job that should have cost around $2,200, all because he was fighting that insurance deadline.
Okay, so let's talk real numbers. What does it actually cost to fix this whole mess? As we noted on the site, inflation has hit this trade really hard. In 2025, you are looking at a range somewhere between $1,700 and almost $4,000 for a full replacement. The big variable is always the labor costs and whether or not your exterior meter base also needs to be upgraded to meet code. If you want the full technical breakdown of these costs, check out the post on mobilehomefriend.com.
All right, enough about the problems. Let's pivot and talk about the solution. What should you have in your home? What does a safe modern electrical panel even look like?
Yeah, and when you look at this comparison, you can really see the core difference. Where the old panels fail, the modern ones are engineered from the ground up for safety. Brands like Eaton, Cutler-Hammer, Square D, or Siemens use way better materials and have these reliable trip curves, which is just a fancy way of saying they're precisely designed to shut off at the exact right moment to protect not just your home, but all your sensitive electronics too. They're built for safety, not just to turn the power on and off.
And, this brings up a really great point, especially if you're in the market to buy a mobile home. If you open up a panel and you see one of these modern brands, that is a huge green flag. It means a previous owner has already spent the $2,000 or $3,000 to fix this critical safety issue. That's a major investment you don't have to make.
Okay, so we've covered the problem, we've covered the cost, and we've covered the solution. Now for the most important part, what do you do next? Let's build a clear, super simple action plan you can use today.
Here it is, your simple 3-step check. First, just take a picture. From a safe distance, please don't touch anything inside. Just open the outer door and get a clear photo. Second, compare that picture to the guides we've shown you. And third, and this is the most important part, if you have any doubt at all, call a licensed electrician. Let a professional confirm what you're seeing and give you a plan. Okay, and I need to be absolutely crystal clear about this next point. I cannot stress this enough. Replacing an electrical panel is one of the most dangerous jobs in a home. The main wires coming into that box are always live, even when every single breaker is off. You are risking serious injury or electrocution. This is not a do-it-yourself project. Ever. Please hire a professional.
And one last expert tip for you for when you talk to that electrician. A lot of homes from this era also have aluminum branch wiring. Now, this is perfectly safe, but it needs to be handled in a special way. Make sure your electrician uses an antioxidant paste on all the connections and installs breakers that are specifically rated for aluminum wire. They'll be marked CO/ALR. This prevents a whole new fire hazard from being created during the repair.
So the final question is really for you to answer. Is that box in your hallway protecting your family, or is it a risk just waiting to happen? Thanks for watching. For more guides and the full article on this topic, head over to mobilehomefriend.com. Don't forget to check the links in the description below.
Thanks for watching. For more technical guides on this topic, click the link to see the in-depth article over at mobilehomefriend.com. There are many more informational dives into manufactured home topics to investigate and keep your project moving forward.